Hi guys, it's Silverly B here, and today I'm bringing you the fourth and final video of Jamuary. And I know it's been a while and I know it's April, but I decided to finish this series and not leave it hanging on my channel. So yeah, it's April, but we're doing Jamuary. Anyways, so one of the reasons that made me kind of quit the challenge was these themes that were really hard. For instance, on day 22, the theme was encourage. And encourage is such an abstract theme that it was really hard to create a game around it. But I decided this week to go back and finish all these mini games. So on encourage, I decided to do this little game where you're the boss and you must high five all your employees and tell them nice job, super awesome and all that in order to encourage them. And you have 1 minute to high five as many employees as you can. And that's basically it. It's a simple game, but I think it's okay for the time that I had. And also for this theme, it's not a very encouraging theme. So that was it. And on day 23, the theme was pin. And I decided to do the simple pin board where you have post-it notes that kind of fell off and you must put them back in the right position. It's also another very simple mini game, but this one was very fun to make and I find it really challenging. I don't know if it's just me, but it's kind of hard for me to keep track of where all the post-its must go. But anyways, this was day 23, pin. And on day 24, the theme was Imposter. And of course, the first thing I thought of was Among Us, but I didn't want to make an Among Us clone, and also I didn't have the time to make it. So what I decided to do instead was a very simple game. Again, I think that in order for me to complete this challenge, I needed to focus on simplicity and scopes that were more manageable so that I could make this video and finish all these games. So making an Among Us clone would not be a possibility, at least not for me. Anyways, I decided to use Imposter and just do this very simple game of finding the odd one out. You have this board of people and you must click on the different alien, and that's basically it. It's like an imposter is in this crowd and you must spot them. And that was day 24. On day 25, the theme was contain. And let me tell you, this is one of the games that made me quit for a while, a very long while, because I aimed for simplicity and decided to go with a pipes game. But what I forgot is that a pipe type of game is very hard to take step by step and write an algorithm and write code for it. And I started on the wrong foot, on the wrong type of algorithm. It was going so badly for me that my Unity broke quite a few times because the code was just bleeding and I couldn't find the right algorithm to solve my problem. But anyways, after quitting for a time because of this game, I came back to it with a fresh mind and tried again. And this time I went a different route and I managed to finish the game, and it's actually playable and it doesn't break Unity for me. So I consider it quite a win, especially because the algorithm was so hard for me to write on my own. But I did it. I wrote the code and I got over this game that really was the hardest one for me, especially on the algorithm part. And even if it's still a little bit buggy, I consider it still a win because seriously, I couldn't really imagine that the pipe game was as hard as this to write, you know? But it gave me a lot of experience and it was actually quite nice. Anyways, this was day 25, contain. On day 26, the theme was betray, and I decided to go for, again, a very simple game. And this one I'm really proud of, not because it's a complex game or anything like that, but because it's a game I thought on my own. I'm sure out there must be a game exactly like this one or close to this one, but me personally, I have never seen a game exactly like this one, so I'm kind of proud because I thought of it on my own. I wrote the algorithm on my own and the code as well. Anyways, this game doesn't have an actual name, so I'll call it just Betray. And anyways, the game works like this. You have two players, you and your opponent. At the beginning of each round, you both throw 2 dice, and first you must tell your opponent what your number was, and your opponent is gonna say that the number that they got on the dice is higher, lower, or equal to yours. And You must guess if your opponent is telling you the truth. And if you think they are telling you the truth, then you must accept. And if you think they are telling you a lie, you must call betrayal. If you call betrayal and your opponent is right, then your opponent gets 2 points. If you call betrayal and your opponent is wrong, then you get 2 points. Otherwise, if you accept your opponent's take, if your opponent called higher, then they win 1 point. If they called equal, they win 0 points. If they called lower, you automatically win 1 point. And that is it. After that, it's your turn to see your opponent's dice and call higher, lower, or equal. The same rules still apply. Your opponent's gonna say if they accept or if they call out your betrayal. And if they call out your betrayal and you're wrong, then your opponent wins 2 points. And if they call out betrayal and you're right, you win 2 points. It's very simple, and I actually had fun playing it. Even though the AI is a bit stupid, you can still have fun playing it. It's one of those, I think it's mostly complete, both because of playability and also because it doesn't have a lot of bugs and it's very clear what's going on. So I think this was one that actually was hard to make, but I'm very proud of it. And that was day 26. On day 27, the theme was bad. It's a very abstract theme, but I took it as morally bad. And at first, I thought about doing a trolley problem type of game where you had to be as bad as you could. But I actually decided on a simpler version of this, where you just have to hit people with your car, and that's just it. You have 1 minute and you must hit as many people as you can with your car. And also, it's ambiguously bad. You're bad because you're killing people, and it's also bad because it's not a good game. And this was a very simple one. I'm not proud of it or anything. I have done a lot of games just like this, but that was what I came up with. And that was it for day 27. Now, for day 28, the theme was formula. And what I came up with is this mini game where you're a witch and you're trying to find a formula, a secret formula that you forgot what the recipe was. And you must combine all these 4 ingredients in a certain order in order to achieve the secret formula. It's one of the cutest ones. I really like how the cauldrons turned out, and I think it's cute. It's not very difficult because it's just 4 ingredients, but I really had fun doing it and writing the messages. And that's it. That was it for day 28. You had a cauldron to find a secret recipe, and you have ingredients such as spider legs, dragon scale, fairy dust, and bottled sunray. So that was it for day 28. And on day 29, the theme was happy. And what I came up with was this little game, kind of like Tamagotchi, where you have to keep your pet happy. And that's just it. You must feed them, give them water, and also play with them so they don't get bored. You have these parents, and if you give them too much food or too much water or too much playtime, you end up actually making them unhappy and you lose. But if you don't give them water or food or playtime, they also get sad and you lose as well. And that's just it. You must keep them happy. It's a very simple game. Again, going for a simple concept. But I actually kind of liked it because it's a bit different from the other games that I've done. Even though it's still a simple concept and it was very simple to make and it's very not polished, but it's actually okay, and I'm actually okay with it. So anyways, this was day 29, happy. And on day 30, the theme was marathon. And for marathon, I actually just recycled the concept of day 27, which was hitting people with your car. This time, you're just running a marathon with hurdles, and you must avoid the hurdles, because if you hit a hurdle you actually lose the game. It's just that. It's a very simple game again. I wasn't going for something complex, and it was just that. A running game where you must avoid obstacles, and that's just it. The animation is a bit janky, but other than that, it's an okay mini game. And on day 31, the last game, finally be over with Jamuary. The theme was budget. I decided to make a different game than the ones I'd done before, but still, this isn't a very complex game. It's just an idle clicker where you have this online store where you sell clothes and you must click on your clothes to win money, and with that money you can unlock new clothes, and you just click, get their money, unlock the next clothing item, and it's different. I liked it. It was very simple to make because I didn't go for the very complex type of clicker games. You can make this very complex, but I decided to keep it simple as always to finish this in time for Easter, you know. And that was it for January. I'm proud of the games that I made. I kind of feel very sorry for cutting the challenge at the end, but I went through a bit of stuff this past month, and I'm glad I can finally finish it. I was actually stalling a bit because I didn't want to go back to a challenge I should have finished in January, but that's just it. Sometimes you gotta do things you don't want to, and I hope next week I can begin on a new phase, bring different types of videos, and actually keep a schedule. I'll try to post every Friday. It's not a promise, but it's something I really want to do. And anyways, this has been fun. And even if the challenge wasn't completed as it should have been, I'm glad I came back and finished it. Even with these themes that weren't very good, even with everything, I'm actually proud. And that's it, guys. I hope I can keep a schedule at least. So please subscribe if you want to see more of my game dev journey, and consider leaving a like if you like the video, or a dislike if you want to tell me something. And please don't forget to write in the comments anything you want to tell me. That was it. Bye!